Alright, so we are on our way to JFK Airport to take off for our flight to, I don't know how to say it properly, Pointe-à-Pitre Airport in Guadeloupe, the French Caribbean. We found tickets on Norwegian Airlines for $230 per person.
Round trip.
Nothing. Round trip from JFK. So the only caveat there is we've got to drive to JFK, and that's about a 3.5-hour drive for us. So how this came about is Raheem was watching this series called, what is it called here?
Death in Paradise.
Death in Paradise. And he did a little research to find out where it was filmed, because it's filmed obviously somewhere in the Caribbean, and it was filmed in Guadeloupe. So I thought, well, his 40th birthday's coming out. Why don't we try to go to Guadeloupe where this series is shot? And we searched the internet, we found the tickets on Norwegian, we were kind of blown away by the price. So we made it to JFK. We were about 3 hours early.
That's it. Now I know I said earlier that I'm going to be trying to show you the island and what it's like to travel here, but I just want to emphasize the word try, because I will be relaxing. So this camera will not be out and on the entire time. We got our food, so we got chicken teriyaki bowls with vegetables. And every time we talk, this lady in the background talks. But this is first meal in New York City.
Yes,
Guadeloupe Pointe-à-Pitre Airport. Just once we go through customs, we get our baggage, then we have a problem. We got an Airbnb, and we do not have an address. I messaged the owner, and he has not gotten back to us. So we will go get a taxi, and
we have the directions.
Go from there.
He gave us directions with no address, so crossing our fingers.
Alright, so we made it through customs, and we have another problem. One bigger problem with not having address is we don't speak French. And so we are deciding whether to rent a car or take a taxi for the next 4 days. We'll figure it out. And we'll let you guys know what we decide. Rent a taxi or rent a car?
Take a taxi.
Take a taxi or rent a car. Alright, so we're back, and we are finishing our first full day in Desai. We haven't eaten dinner yet, but it's about 6:40. So we're going to recap basically our decision we made from last night at the airport, and our first night in the Airbnb, and then the first day here in Desai.
So, when we exited the airport, we went to look for a taxi because we wanted to find out how much it would cost. First driver we went up to said it would be about $80, and we were like, okay, that's a lot of money. Sorry, 80 euro. So we went to Hertz. They were out of cars. We went to Enterprise, and they had cars, but they were like 60 euro a day. Plus there was like a one-time $35 fee. So we were like, that's going to be a lot of money. We don't plan on driving a whole lot once we get to Desai, and it's at night in a foreign country that we've never driven in. So we thought about it, and we're like, you know what, we'll just take the taxi. Ended up costing us 110 euro to get to the Airbnb. So some food for thought. If you are going from the Pointe-à-Pitre Airport to Desai or anywhere further, it's going to cost. There's no Uber.
We made it, and that was the important thing. Because the whole thing with the address and not speaking French came into play. Getting there, we probably wouldn't have found the place on our own. So luckily, our taxi driver knew a little bit about this town and was able to find it.
Yeah. Okay, so now when we got to the Airbnb, we were immediately impressed. The host was really hospitable. We loved the little, I guess bungalow or cabin that we were in. It's in the mountains. It's great. Maybe we'll provide some, a link or some info in the description.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We really enjoyed it. So the first night was great. First day was also great. We were awakened by roosters.
Oh my
okay,
gosh.
So keep that in mind. If you are going to be kind of out in the country in the mountains, in this particular place, they had chickens, and the roosters woke us up probably around 4 o'clock in the morning, and they just kept crowing. Only complaint. Other than that, a really nice place. We walked into Desai, which is maybe about 3 minutes from our Airbnb.
Super small village.
Yes, super small
nice.
place, but really nice. Like the type of vacation that we want is kind of chill, quiet. We're not really into the hustle and bustle and doing something every second of the day. So today was just a chill day. We, came down, went to a couple of little markets, got something to eat, went back, slept. You went for a run.
Yeah, got in the jacuzzi.
Couple times.
The room had air conditioning, so that was good.
Yeah.
It was open, but it still had the essence of a room with 4 walls, at least the bedroom part, so that was good.
Yeah, but like the kitchen kind of porch part is wide open, which
Yeah,
is different, but really nice at the same time.
Yeah, that was good. What else did we do? We ran into the same people that we saw on the airplane. There was a very small island.
Yeah, 2 groups of people that we saw on the airplane. We saw today in Desai, which is it's pretty interesting. Either it's like a really big tourist draw, or it's a really small island, or both. But
for us,
kind of cool.
I will say this, to be totally honest with you, not that many black tourists in this area. A lot of white French people are around. They're clearly tourists, or they're on their what they call holiday. So just keep that in mind.
Forget not a lot. I don't think we saw another black couple, family, or anything until we saw the people that we saw on the plane this evening.
And no Americans either.
And no Americans. So they do not take American dollars down here, so make sure you have your euros.
Yep. It's quite expensive. So
yeah.
That's going to wrap up today. We're going to eat our dinner and go to our second destination tomorrow on the other island, which is Grande Terre, La Creole Hotel, which we've seen on a lot of the vlogs. A lot of people stay there, so that's why we chose that one. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Because day 2 is coming up. Actually, day 3.
Day 3.
Day 3.
Day 3 is coming up.
All right, so here we are with day number what? 3?
Day number 3, yeah.
4.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This is day number 3.
Thursday. That's not Thursday. We got here on Thursday. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Oh, okay. So
Here we are, day 4. We moved over to the other side, Grande Terre.
Grande Terre.
So picking up from where we left off, eating dinner that night, we had an interesting experience. And I'll let Keisha share that.
An unfortunate experience. I ordered a grilled fish entree. Fish was not seasoned. It came with some type of vegetable rice that was lukewarm and kind of hard, and some type of mushy side. It was just, I ate it because we had to pay for it, but I did not like it at all. It was the first meal where I was just like, pas bien.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pas bien.
I ordered an appetizer. I was really hungry. And I asked her what it was. It was something with boudin, Creole. That was the name of the appetizer. And she said it was like a sausage. So I went ahead and ordered it. Just so you know, if you like American sausage, French sausage is nothing like it. It came out very soft. It was like a paste.
It was like a paste.
Inside of a casing. So that was trash.
So yeah, if you like your sausage like firm, do not get the boudin.
I also ordered the Colombo chicken.
Ooh.
That was terrible. It was supposed to be curry chicken. I didn't even eat it. So the whole meal was just trash at that place.
At this one particular place in Desai. However, afterwards we went out for dessert at a restaurant called, I think it's called La Case de Douanier, and it's where some of the scenes from Death in Paradise were actually filmed. some of the restaurant scenes, and the dessert was outstanding. I had something called maracuja cake, which I don't know where I'm going to find that elsewhere. It was like 4 different layers with cream. It tasted like passion fruit and mango, toasted almonds. It was delicious, perfect. Highly recommend.
And I had something like rum cake as well, so that was good. And then since I really didn't eat dinner, we found a hamburger stand, like a late night hamburger stand. But late night for them is like 9 o'clock. So they were just about to close. I was able to get a chicken sandwich. Again, if you like our chicken sandwiches, theirs is completely different. It was basically thigh meat that they pulled off the chicken and put in between 2 pieces of bread.
Rather than a deep fried chicken patty, which is what we're used to.
Like one whole piece of chicken processed or whatever it was. But we didn't get, at least it was edible. We also ran into an American lady who immigrated. Another seagull just dove and caught a fish.
That's so amazing.
We ran into an American lady who immigrated here.
Right, she lived in Washington, D.C. for 8 years, and now she lives in Guadeloupe. And she gave us some sad news.
Oh, yes.
Norwegian Airlines is going to stop their JFK to Martinique and JFK to Guadeloupe route as of March 31st of this year. So if you're watching this and you want to come to Guadeloupe on the cheap, you got to come here by March 31st on Norwegian, or else it's a series of connecting flights and very expensive connecting flights.
By the time this is out, it's going to be after March 31st because I'm not going to rush to get this out. So we were going to review the airline and the flight here, but there's no need to because Norwegian is stopping its seasonal flights here.
It's pretty sad.
So that was the end of that night.
Yeah.
The next day, which was Saturday.
Saturday, yeah.
Was awesome. We started out.
Oh man.
Waking up, going to get some breakfast, which breakfast here is not an American breakfast.
Right. Not in Desai. Not where we were. The only thing that we could find that was breakfast-like was at this bakery, a boulangerie, and we've got some pain au chocolat, which is like chocolate,
croissant.
In a croissant, basically. And from there, we decided we wanted to go to the Jardin Botanique, the botanical garden. And as we were walking down the street, a lady stopped us, who I guess she was the owner of another bakery. And she asked us if we were American, and we started talking to her, told her we're going to the Jardin Botanique and that we were going to walk. And she was like, oh, no.
She said it was 2 kilometers away, and I'm thinking, it's a mile, so it's not too bad.
But it's uphill.
It's straight uphill. It's like a 70-degree incline.
Yeah.
And I had sneakers, she had sandals.
Yeah.
So it wasn't going to happen.
And it was hot. So she told us, as best as she could, that she was going to call someone who would take us there. Turns out Jardin Botanique has a shuttle. So if you call them, you'll need somebody who speaks French fluently, I think. They can have a shuttle pick you up in the downtown village part of Desai. And that's what happened.
It's free of charge.
Free. So we got to the Jardin Botanique. Highly, highly recommend that you go there. Yeah. It is beautiful. You get a kind of an overview of the town. You can see the ocean. The actual grounds of the garden are beautiful. That's a must-see if you go to Desai. So we took the shuttle back down to Desai.
Well, I just want to say, like, the botanical gardens. If you're on that side of the island in Grande Terre, it's 16 euro. It's really, really nice.
It's worth it. Or
well,
you mean Basse Terre?
Basse Terre, yes. If you're down there in Desai, Point North, or wherever you are, check out the botanical gardens. Caught the shuttle back. Oh, then we went to big fans once again of Death in Paradise. Found out that they actually do shoot there, which we kind of knew, but we found the location, and for 10 euro, you get to go into the police station. So
yeah, so really liked going into the Honoré police station set. It was really cool. They let you kind of look around, touch anything, and whatever, take pictures. Yeah, if you're a fan of the show, and you are close to or in Desai, go see the set. It's right beside the church.
You will recognize the church if you watch the show, and it's right. It is right there. Then we ate some ice cream, very good.
Oh,
I mean,
yes.
Ice cream in the town was great. And then our day took a turn for the worse.
We went back to the Airbnb, and before we had left for the day, the proprietor's wife had told us, you know, she could just call a taxi. It would be there within 30 minutes. So we're like, okay, no problem. When we come back from our little exploration, we'll just have them call a taxi. So the owner calls a taxi. First place can't be there until 7. Mind you, it's about it's a little after 3 at this point.
Yeah.
First place can't send anyone until 7, and there are only 2 drivers, something like that. The second place he called was
Only 2 people he knew.
2 people he knew, right?
He assured us that they would be able to get us a taxi.
So second place wasn't picking up. So he was like, well, you can take the bus or you can hitchhike.
Very casually said that. Like, it's not a big deal in Guadeloupe to hitchhike, and you don't do the thumbs up, you just point.
Yeah.
And you'll get a ride.
No, we're Americans.
He said,
so.
F that, F you.
So we took our luggage, went back down into the side.
So we figured we'd just go down there and ask either the information, the police department, or the lady who helped us get to La Jourdain Britannique.
Mind you, we had our backpacks, 2 suitcases, and a duffel bag. Anyway, the police station was closed.
Everything
right?
was closed.
Everything was closed.
It's 3 o'clock. Basically, their Saturday hours for everything in the village is 8:30 to 12:30.
And then some things open back again at like 6 p.m.
Yeah, then you gotta wait till after
strange
in the evening.
to us. So we
found a bus stop.
we found a bus stop, right? It had Point of Petra on it. We saw a lady who was waiting there for the bus. Thank God she was there, because we could ask her in our broken French and she could respond in our broken English that yes, we can get to Point of Petra. We could take the bus to St. Rose, which would be by in about 20 minutes, and then take another bus to Point of Petra.
And then from there take another bus or a taxi to get
the hotel.
to the hotel.
Which is what we did. We got on a minibus.
So that worked out well. And it's
Yeah.
only
€4.
Yeah, €4 for both of us.
For both of us.
It was $4.40, so $2.20 for both of us.
Yeah.
So that was good. Considering the taxi ride from the airport to Desai was 110.
€110. Yeah.
So $4.40 saved us a bunch of money.
And you know what? It was a really scenic bus trip. Like, we went up into the mountains, then descended again, and it was really nice. It was really nice. So we got to St. Rose. Guy told us, you know, this is where you get off. And it wasn't really a bus stop. It was just like a sidewalk.
Yeah.
And within about 20 minutes, a bus came, like a legit bus, like a Greyhound bus, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And that cost €6
for both of us.
For
So
both of
€3. And it took us all the way into Point of Petra.
Took us to Point of Petra. We told the driver in our, broken French, we need to get to Point of Petra.
Again, very scenic. It had more urban areas than Desai.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was nice. It was
Yeah.
a good bus ride.
And so once, when we got to some place in Point of Petra, the bus driver saw a cab, told the cab driver
Yeah.
where we needed to go,
He just
and
stopped
we
the bus.
immediately got off the bus and into a taxi.
It wasn't a bus stop. He just pulled the bus over, yelled to the taxi driver, told him where we were going, and let us off. So
Yeah.
really nice.
Went from the bus to the taxi. That's
€25.
€25, and
Gotta set up
he knew where La Creole Beach Hotel was. He took us here.
So
We got here.
we made it.
We got here. It's not how we intended to, but we ended up saving a lot of money. It was a little bit of aggravation, but it's all good. We got here.
So, we don't have any plans for today. No hard plans that we set.
Yeah.
We might go to the African Museum in the town or the city here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a market that we've seen on other YouTube videos.
Might check that out.
Or we might just sit here
On the beach.
where we've been relaxing and chill here at the hotel. the this is pretty new. Le Memorial Acuity. It's like an African memorial, from what we understand.
Right, a memorial to the history of this country.
We've been to the new African American History Museum in DC, so this would be interesting to see this country's version of that. So, see you inside. Well, actually, you won't see us inside. From what we understand, we cannot video inside.
Right, like it's disrespectful, so.
Probably won't. Anyway. Alright, so we just left the museum. I know it's a little windy, but hopefully you can hear me. I liked it. Comparing it to the one we have in Washington, D.C., you really can't. It's different. It's unlike any museum I've ever been in. You have to wear headphones because it's a lot of talking and storytelling. Most of the exhibits are on the screen, right?
Yeah, most of the exhibits are on a screen, and you're wearing a headset, and as you walk around, the audio explains either the artifact or or you see something being reenacted and you can hear it.
Yeah.
And they have it in French, English, and I think Spanish. And that's what makes this pretty cool, is as you walk around, you don't only have to, you can do more than just read about the exhibit. You can hear music, you can hear a narration, a reenactment.
Story.
It's really cool. If you are in Pointe Petra or near Pointe Petra, come to this museum.
They basically focused on the slave trade, which was dominated by white people, enslaving people of color from Africa. So,
and they talk about how, yes, slavery did exist before in Africa, but that when Europeans became involved, it became a larger industry. It became
evil.
It became
pure evil.
Even more evil
Pure evil.
than it could have already been. So if you're highly sensitive to that, that might be a problem. But if you want to hear the truth,
If you want to hear the truth
and learn about the history,
because they show you the shackles.
Yeah.
They show you they talk about how if what did it say? According to that Black Code book, if a slave has run away for more than 30 days, then you're to cut off his ears.
Right, when he's found. Things like that.
And brand his shoulder, and if it happens again, then you brand the other shoulder and you give him the whip, and if it happens the third time, you kill him.
You're killed, yeah.
Everything's in it.
Yeah.
Everything's in it.
And some of them things are interactive, like with those codes, you can flip the pages electronically, and it appears on this huge screen in like 5 or 6 different languages. It's really cool.
It was nice.
Yeah.
So it's something for everyone.
Yes.
Where?
Somebody out there.
Oh. What's he doing? Somebody racing. They're gonna get hit.
Yeah. Look. What that thing is, and look over here. Not smart.
They can't see him.
You need to turn back. Turn back this way.
You want to talk about anything else? Like while it's on?
Oh, is it on right now? Oh, what just happened that we're like, yeah, we should talk about this?
The food. the food here. What? Oh, snap. Look, this damn jet ski about to go hit the dude. There, he about to get hit.
Oh my gosh, is he out there?
He's out there.
Why?
He's an idiot. All right, we're back for one quick recap. I hope you can hear us again. We just wanted to talk about some of the food customs here.
Oh goodness. Okay, so yeah, so apparently restaurants close for a certain portion of the day. We had no idea. So it was around 3 o'clock or close to 3 o'clock. We go to the front desk and ask them, you know, what restaurants around here are open, because we realized when we were in Desai, which we have now been told is called Day. When we were in Day, restaurants would be closed at like 1 o'clock and then they would reopen at 5 or 6. We asked the front desk what's open. Their own restaurants are not open at 2:45.
Everything is closed except
Everything's
for
closed.
the pizza bar.
Except for the pizza bar at the hotel. They point us to a place across the street that's open. We go across there. Now, mind you, there are about 6 or 7 restaurants across the street, all closed, except for one. When we get there, it's about 10 to 3, and the waitress seats us, and then, you know, she didn't say hurry up, but she kind of implied that we should hurry because the kitchen closes at 3. We were like, wait, what? Then I guess the manager explained to us that the hot food service stops at 3, but the salad bar stays open. This is weird. This is something you need to know. If you are hungry, and it's not around lunchtime, and it's not around dinner time, it's not around breakfast time, be prepared to go to a vending machine or a convenience store, because restaurants in general are closed.
Yeah.
Even the pharmacy in Day was closed after like 1 o'clock. Okay, another thing, we talked to the waitress where we just had lunch, or late lunch, and she was saying, you know, why aren't we more adventurous with the food? Because Raheem was having another hamburger and French fries, and I just had a chicken salad. And we're like, well, we had bad experience in Day with some seafood and some Colombo chicken. It's tasteless. And she's like, that's because the restaurants around here are catering to French clientele that come to vacation here, or holiday, as they say. And people complain about the spices, they take it out. It made so much sense. Yeah. So that was interesting to hear from a French person about the food. So
Also, if you are a drinker, on the other hand, everything has rum in it.
yeah,
Every drink,
desserts.
almost every dessert. If you have had rum raisin back home in the United States, it tastes not bad. If you have rum raisin in certain places here, they
Tastes like
literally
rum.
have rum with a little bit of ice cream in it. So rum is the drink
Yeah.
of choice down here, and it's everywhere. So, and it's
Yeah.
fairly cheap to buy.
It is.
You
Yeah.
buy authentic rum made in Guadeloupe. Guadeloupe is a big producer of rum. They have a lot of distilleries here for rum, so you can find some great prices on some great rum. And there's an idiot way out there swimming. You can see him doing some type of stroke. You can't see him probably in this,
yeah,
but he's
there he is.
way out there. You see where that little ridge is to the left? He's beyond that.
And here's why he's an idiot.
Because there are jet skis racing back and forth.
in that area. Like, I don't know what he's doing.
What an idiot.
He's not. Doesn't seem to be getting any closer to shore.
No, he's going away.
He seems like he's swimming away.
Let his ass swim to the next island.
On va utiliser ça pour un dîner ce soir.
Oh, where is he? Maintenant?
Yes.
What
Il faut faire des mises en place.
Okay. We're using this for dinner tonight.
Ah, you speak English?
Oh, yes.
Wait.
Yeah, we're going to have a private dinner here.
Okay.
And then we're going to set up the tables because the dinner is for 7 o'clock. But you could just go right across here.
Yeah,
Okay.
we just got here.
Yeah. Because, we have to dress it up because it's a private dinner.
Okay.
But you could rent this one too, private dinner.
We're leaving. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. We hope it's been informative. This wraps up our trip to Guadeloupe. We definitely want to come back. Even given some of the little mishaps we had, it's just a really beautiful place. Very warm, friendly people. We had a wonderful time.
Yep. And just want to thank everybody for watching again. If you have any questions, please type them in the comments below. If you like what we do, please subscribe. And thank you for watching. Bye.
Peace.
We can't wait to come back, Guadeloupe. Au revoir.